extraordinary.
What is? Paper. The manic murderer has struck again. Another woman butchered in their own home. Her throat had been cut, she had been savagely mutilated, disemboweled, and her uterus taken away.
Honestly, Professor, I don't think this is the sort of discussion that should be discussed at the dinner table.
Honestly, Henry, there's a mass murderer on the loose, and all you can think about is your stomach.
There isn't any more tea, is there?
Oh, really?
Another child has gone missing. Oh, corks! Where was it this time?
The child was last seen yesterday outside number 29 Hanbury Street, Whitechapel.
Those poor parents.
They must be worried sick. How many is that now? 5 now, you know. You know, I wonder if now may be the time for us to take some action. Do some little investigating of our own.
It'll be what the doctor would have wanted us to do in this situation, wherever he is.
Precisely. Well, we'll finish up our breakfast and then dash out. I haven't got to be at the mortuary today, it's my day off, and you don't have to be at the theatre until the evening, so we can use the day to investigate this mystery together.
Sounds thrilling, Professor, quite thrilling.
Well, we'll just finish up here, and then grab our hat and coats. This is where the child was seen before he was taken.
Well, let's see now. It's an open street with houses on each side. The child could have easily have called out for help and the neighbours would have heard him.
Quite so. So it all comes down to how he made the escape. Well, this alleyway is narrow enough to fit 2 people at the same time. The kidnapper must have spotted the child, grabbed him, and ducked for cover down the side of the alleyway before taking him down there. And look, Professor, fabric fibres. Yes, possibly the material could have caught onto something. We found ourselves a clue, Henry. Our first clue.
Oh, I say. We're all quite good at this detective work, aren't we, you and me? Let's follow the trail. Nothing. The kidnapper could have gone either way. Oh, dash it all.
What? Just when we think we're getting somewhere,
our hopes are crushed and we're led back to square one.
Not exactly, Henry. We know how the kidnapper escaped with the child, and we have this piece of fabric, remember? You know, it's such a while since I've been out, you'll forget sometimes how beautiful London can be. The architecture, the canals, the dead body floating along. Henry, as a man of the theatre, your poetry is...
No, that dead body there.
Good Lord! Well, after having examined the body thoroughly, I can deduce that this poor man has suffered a rather severe fall. Which is odd, because... Because what, Professor? That wasn't the cause of death. He was dead before he hit the ground. Look. See how his clothes are all scorched, and the fibres of the skin are somewhat burnt? I think he was electrocuted.
Electrocuted?
Why, yes. The killer must have dumped the body in the river.
I must say, it's not something you come across every day, is it, so early in the morning? But where do we go from here?
I took the liberty of taking whatever valuables were on his person. Obviously someone forgot to remove them, but they were wet and soggy from having been in the water. I've come across this piece of paper. It's a cheque of some kind. This man seems to have been a licensed banker. I think we can find out more about this person from his bank details. Shall we go and have a look?
Oh, Litefoot, the game's afoot.
Excuse me, I wonder if you can help us. I'll do my best. We'd like to know the identification of one of your employees from this bill we found this morning. A paycheck of some kind. I can't make out what it says. It was on the person of the person in question we found him in. We found him... dead. We were hoping to find out a little bit more about his identity. So, could you find out who this belongs to? It would be most helpful. Just bear with me, all right, gentlemen. I'll check with my employer. I say, this is all very exciting. Nothing quite like the old adventure, Henry. Just like the good old days. I personally relish such an event like this, Professor. It's all rather mysterious and exciting, you know. The imagination of the unknown. I say, I ought to use that in an act. Magic tricks bob and knob, and make millions within less than a month. Gentlemen, the man you are referring to is a Mr. Winslow. All of our employees got paid yesterday. We had started to wonder why Mr. Winslow had not turned up to work this morning. Dead, are you sure? Positive, sir. I examined the body myself. Oh no. I must speak to my employer and let his family know of the sad news. Is there anything else I can help you with, gentlemen? No, you've told us everything we wish to know, thank you. A banker found in the river. Serious by the minute. First missing children, now this. I wondered if both cases are somewhat connected somehow. What do you want about man? Well, isn't it merely a coincidence that a man is killed shortly after a child goes missing? I have a feeling that this is all somewhat connected somehow. I'll go back to my house. I'll see you tonight at the theatre. Righto, Professor. Where to, sir? Palace Theatre, please. Yeah. So, what have you been up to whilst I was away? I'm afraid we're in no further forwards of moving on than we left off. I had hoped to find something a bit more conclusive. Maybe find something that linked this puzzle together. It could be unconnected. You'd think so. But I would think that the location where the body was dumped was near the docks. It's the nearest place in London closest to the riverbank. Therefore, I'm beginning to think that maybe our banker friend stumbled across somewhere or something that he wasn't supposed to see whilst walking home from work last night. Think about it, Henry. If you were walking home from the theatre one evening and you saw something suspicious happening, what would you do? Well, I'd naturally want to check it out. Exactly. Which I believe is exactly what happened to this poor fellow. He went by the docks wanting to check the location and met a terrible fate. Would you think this could have anything to do with the disappearances of those children? Possibly. I'm beginning to add things up for myself. The street from which we came out this morning leads right by the docks and passes the entrance to the Thames. I mean, take a look at this. I've been trying to trace the line of the sewers. That's the Thames, that's the course of the fleet, and there are the docks, and there's the bank. I'm beginning to see what you're getting at. I say, Litefoot, gaslights aren't green, are they? What do you want about man? Have you started seeing things? Oh my. No, that's not right. Amazing. It's as if you get a flicker of green radiant in colour, and then it fades away. Missing children, a dead body in the river, and now green gaslights. I think it's best that we check out the location near the docks, Henry, and see if we can find something there. Do you have a match? Blokes! I say, Litefoot, why don't we go back in the morning when it's light? It's far too dark to see anything now. Come on, I'll lead the way. Don't worry, dear man. Nothing is going to harm us. I hope. Or are you afraid? Afraid? Henry Gordon Jago afraid? Why, sir, no. I am very precautious in these circumstances. One has to be when assessing this sort of situation, of course, risk of potential danger. All right, well, in that case, hadn't you better lead the way? Yes, quite. Oh, no, it's all right. I don't think there's anything here. Henry, look. I think I can see a green light emanating from the fog. Oh, the most severe machinations, Professor. You're beginning to start seeing things, you know. No, Henry, look, I was right. Looks like it's a man. Hello? Excuse me. I wonder if you could help us, or perhaps not. Henry? Henry, I think this is one of those instances where discretion is the better part of valor. Run! Doctor! Litefoot! Jago! Oh, we're glad to see you, Doctor. Likewise, Henry, likewise. Oh, shut up. Let's get moving. Is there any chance we can find a cab? Not at this time of night. Oh dear. We need to get off the streets. Take us back to your house, Professor. I'll explain once we get back. But how did you know that we'd be at the docks? I didn't. But I suspected that you may have heard of the disappearing children, so naturally you'd probably want to take the situation into your own hands. I just happened to be here in this time because the Sonic was on the blink. I read of the disappearing children in the paper and I decided to investigate it. I came by an old abandoned warehouse off Dutsfield's Yard, a little opening off Berners Street, opposite the docks, and there I found boxes. Boxes which contained metal components. Like you were putting something together, like a machine of some kind. Investigations then led me to be by the docks, and it is there where I found you. I was there to see if I could find some clues. But Doctor, that's why we were there. I know you were there, Litefoot, I know. Anyway, the point of the matter is, something is going on in London under everyone's noses, and it is happening in that warehouse by the docks. Do you think that's where we'll find all the answers? I don't know, Jago. But it looks as if the clues and evidence are all scattered around. We have it, but it's all disjointed. It doesn't seem to add up to anything. I wonder if we might be able to go by the docks again tomorrow night, and see if we can find something. What about the green gaslights? The what? Well, just earlier, Litefoot and I were coming across in London and we came across a green gaslight. It was flickering like a radiant shade of green. How curious. That's very interesting, Mr. Jago. I'll look into it. Doctor, where are you going? I'm sorry, Jago, Litefoot, but I must be leaving you. Much to be done. I'll meet you at the docks tomorrow. Don't be late. I see, what was that? Nothing, my dear man, nothing. It was probably the wind. I say, Litefoot, I've been thinking, the alleyways of London at this time of night are no place for two gentlemen of our stature. Do you think we might attract attention? Well, I say we wait a little bit longer, and if there's no sign of a doctor, then we'll both go home. Good evening, gentlemen. Whoa! I say, don't ever do that to me again. Sorry, but I think you should come with me. This should solve our mystery. You were right to be suspicious about the warehouse, Professor. Where else would you plan on making a high-voltage energy weapon? Oh, corks! You knew about this, didn't you? I had my suspicions, but having seen it for myself, now I'm certain. I don't quite believe it. Well, you better believe it, because it's happening, and it's happening now. But who would want to do such a thing? An alien life form, not of this earth, a sentient being, that has no shape or form. I suppose the best way to describe it is a formless, shapeless creature floating about in space like a cloud of green mist only, with a mind and will. Doctor? It's known only as the Ghoul, and it's turned the children into mindless zombies. Silence! I am the Ghoul. Gordon Bennett! Look at his eyes! He's an instrument of the Ghoul. And whatever you do, do not let it touch you. Otherwise your bodies will become lost of a Ghoul forever. That's very comforting. I speak to you with this child's voice because the time has come for you to understand my purpose. What do you want? You defeated me in Brighton, Doctor. Yes? And now you have fallen into the trap that I have so carefully prepared for you. Oh, of course. You knew I couldn't resist a mystery, so you had me come to Earth to investigate. You knew I would come here. But you didn't bargain on my two accomplices. Why have you brought me here, For revenge? Oh no. Revenge is a very human emotion. My intention for you is far more interesting. And what's that? Through time and space, I have observed you, Doctor. Your mind is far more superior. For all What do you want?
Your mind will be invaluable to me. Therefore, I have invented a machine that will drain all past experience and knowledge from your mind.
But you'll kill him.
Oh no, he shall remain unharmed and his head will be empty.
And if I refuse to cooperate with your plan?
Then the whole of London will be destroyed.
That's why you're building the laser cannon. But you'll destroy Earth anyway. You'll just want me out of the way so you can control Earth's population. Today the British Empire and tomorrow the world.
If you'd rather I'd kill your two friends instead.
No! Don't lay a finger on either of them.
So you do care. It's a great weakness of yours, Doctor.
All right. I'll surrender. What do I have to do?
Put this headset on, and I shall make the connection in order to drain the information I require from your mind.
Doctor, you can't comply with this creature. I'm sorry, Litefoot. I'm afraid I must. I will say this. If I am to meet my demise, I'm happy I'm in the presence of two of the finest gentlemen I have ever known.
Running out of time and patience, Doctor. Put the headset on now. Soon your mind will be absorbed by the ghoul. You should be very proud, Doctor. You should not be sad. Your knowledge will help to shape the future of this planet.
Just get on with it, please.
You seem very agitated suddenly.
I just want it over and done with.
The process shall begin. Should you uphold any opposition, either physical or mental, your friends will suffer the consequences. We shall begin. No!
Jago, don't! Henry!
You see my meaning? Now, no more interruptions.
What happened? Jago? Jago! Henry! Henry! The great Henry Gordon Jago is dead. No, I don't think he is. At least not yet, anyway. What? Where am I? How did I get here? You've had a very nasty shock, Henry, but don't worry, everything will be all right. What the devil happened? I remember being struck and falling to the floor, but after that, gone blank. Well, let me explain this to you in very simple terms. The ghoul wanted my knowledge and past experience. The only trouble is it tried to consume too much in one go and therefore suffered some kind of seizure. It experienced a big headache, if you can call it that, and it just disintegrated. Where's it from? Where's it go? It's something we probably will never know. But that solves the mystery for you, gentlemen. Although, don't mention a word of it to the police. They'll never believe you. Is that... I don't believe it. Isn't that funny? It's the exact same muffin man. Come on. I'll buy you some muffins.